When he opened his eyes, he faced the same endless blue as always. Sky above, ocean below, both the same color, the same hopelessness. Jose Salvador Alvarenga could no longer remember how many days he had been seeing this view. Maybe 100, maybe 200, maybe more. Curled up in a corner of his small boat, as the sun's rays scorched his skin, only one thought crossed his mind. Will I die today, or will I endure one more day? This is the story of a man who could hold on to light even in his deepest darkness. A true miracle story. November 17th, 2012. It was an ordinary Saturday morning in Chiapas, Mexico. Jose Salvador Alvarenga, a 37-year-old experienced fisherman, he had come from El Salvador and had been hunting sharks off these coasts for years. His regular partner couldn't come that day. While wandering the shore, he saw 22-year-old Ezekiel Cordoba looking for daily work. Though the young man had no sea experience, he was ready for the job. "We'll stay offshore for a day or two," said Alvarenga. "We'll hunt sharks. Will you come?" Both had seen the dark clouds on the horizon, heard the weather warnings. But for experienced fishermen, this was normal. When they boarded the small boat, they had only a few days' worth of food, 1 ton of ice and fishing equipment, no GPS, no working radio, no life jackets, only their trust in the sea and a bit of luck. The first hours were perfect. Sharks were practically rushing to their boat. Every line cast came back with fish. "If this continues, we'll be rich today," laughed Ezekiel. But Alvarenga felt something his experience gave him. The clouds gathering on the horizon didn't look good. "Let's stay a bit longer," he said. "Just half an hour more." This half hour would turn into a 438-day nightmare. First, the wind changed. Then it accelerated to 30 knots, then 50 knots. The sea went mad. The once calm waters turned into giant waves. The first wave passed by the side of the boat. The second swept across the deck. The third one crashed down on them like a wall of water. "Hold on!" shouted Alvarenga, but he couldn't even hear his own voice. The boat tilted 45 degrees. The engine's noise suddenly stopped. That terrible silence. The engine had died. "Engine! The engine isn't working!" Ezekiel's scream echoed through the storm. The engine was underwater. The electrical system was fried. The only things working on the boat were their fears and desperation. They lived through hell all night. The waves were so huge. When they reached the crest, even looking down was terrifying. The third night, Alvarenga began seeing hallucinations. He saw his mother on the boat, waving at him. "Jose, come home! Jose!" On the morning of the fifth day, the sun came out. The storm had passed, but around them was only endless blue. No coast, no island, no other ship, just blue. In every direction, endless blue. Now no one knew where they were. The first weeks passed with hope. "They'll find us in a few days," they said. But food was running out fast, and water was already gone. Alvarenga began acting on survival instincts. When it rained, he collected every drop of water. He caught fish with his bare hands. "I can't eat this disgusting thing," shouted Ezekiel when he saw the raw fish. "You have to eat," said Alvarenga, "or we'll die." But the young man was stubborn. Seasickness, fear and despair had taken him prisoner. Day by day, he grew weaker. In the fourth week, Ezekiel Cordoba quietly closed his eyes at the end of the fourth week at sea. The 22-year-old young man had been defeated by despair. Alvarenga sat beside his friend for hours. He shook him, called his name, cried, but Ezekiel was gone. "I'm sorry, hermano," he said, as he released the body into the ocean's deep blue. I couldn't save you. Now he was truly alone, in his 7-meter boat, in the middle of the Pacific Ocean, with no hope of help. I won't die, he told himself. I won't die like this. Alvarenga created his own survival system. He developed primitive methods for catching fish. He caught small fish with his hands, ate them raw. He hunted seabirds that landed on the boat. When he caught small sharks, he ate their livers. For water, he waited for rain. When it didn't rain, he drank fish blood, sometimes forced to drink his own urine. The hardest was hunting turtles. When he saw a sea turtle, he jumped into the water, trying to catch it with his bare hands. When successful, he ate its meat, drank its blood. As months passed, his physical appearance changed. His hair and beard had grown long. His skin turned black from the sun. But strangely, he had also gained weight. Physical hunger was hard, but the real enemy was mental collapse. As days chased each other, the fear of losing his mind grew. He began talking to himself. He recalled childhood memories, his home in El Salvador, his mother's cooking. Tomorrow I'll be rescued, he told himself every morning. Definitely tomorrow. This phrase was the magic formula that kept him going. Sometimes he saw hallucinations, ships in the distance, islands, shores. He would run, shout, then face reality. There was only water around, endless water. In his worst moments, he thought of suicide, but every time a voice stopped him, not yet, not yet. When the 7th month came, he could no longer count the days. Time seemed to have stopped. Every day the same. Wake up, look for fish, look for water, survive. But the hope inside him never died. Every morning he woke up thinking, today I'll be rescued. One day he saw something in the distance, an island, or another hallucination. He began rowing, paddling with his hand. As he got closer, it became clearer. There was an island, a real island. January 30th, 2014, Jose Salvador Alvarenga set foot on the shores of Tiny Tile Island in Iban Atoll, Marshall Islands. 438 days later, completely naked, his hair and beard grown out, his skin burned, but he was alive. While walking on the shore, he saw 2 local residents. When he saw them, he screamed, "Socorro! Socorro! Soy de Mexico!" I came from Mexico. Alvarenga was shouting. I was at sea for 13 months. Please help. The story made headlines worldwide. 438 days in the Pacific Ocean blazed across front pages. Jose Salvador Alvarenga lives in El Salvador today. He told his 438-day experience in the book 438 Days, an extraordinary true story of survival at sea. He still has nightmares, still fears the sound of the ocean, but he's alive. And his story is one of the greatest proofs of how powerful the human spirit can be. The most important lesson is this: humans can manage not to lose hope even in their darkest moments. And sometimes this hope is enough to create miracles. The man who lived alone in the Pacific Ocean for 438 days pushed the limits not only of physical endurance, but of human will. In Alvarenga's own words, every morning when I woke up, I told myself, today I'll be rescued. I said this for 438 days. And in the end, I was right. And he won.